Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Productions. Today I'm Bancroft, being joined once again by Jimmy.
Are you Bancroft?
I think I'm Bancroft. I hope I'm... Oh no. So, we got a deck profile. Jimmy, he played this deck. Super proud of it. I think he's proud of it. I think he's frustrated too at the same time. You saw his game possibly earlier this week. So you probably saw this match like either earlier this week or last week. I'm not sure when this video is dropping. There's a lot of things being kind of like quote unquote hush hush. So with that being said, let's take it away. Remember, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them. Jimmy.
All right, so we have Oryx and Paragus once again. One of my favorite leaders and archetypes just in the game. There's another player on YouTube, TCG Discussions, I believe is the name of the channel. He's been doing really well with this and really driving home the tech in this list. So there's a couple ideas borrowed from him, but it's pretty straightforward for Broly, and I'm really enjoying how the list plays. There's a couple little spice elements in there, but nothing major. But let's get right into it. If you don't know what the Broly leader does, he puts 30Ks in the drop area. Almost every single time I do this, I end up whiffing or just getting one, and I don't know how because 90% of this deck is 30Ks. You draw a card on swing, awaken, and draw two. Activate main, use pull 3 30Ks back to the drop area, draw a card, and then the activate battle is errata to once per turn, where you choose a 30K battle card in your battle area or your hand, place it in the drop area, and you gain 5K, which helps out because a lot of your 30Ks do not have combo power.
What was the errata again? Sorry.
The errata is once per turn.
Once per turn. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it used to be you could just keep comboing off every card you play. But for the Dark Broly package, we run 3 rushing 4th, 4 ball. You just pay 1 for Broly, ball, play out a 30K from the deck. Just really solid package. The 30K spread is a lot smaller now. We run 2 of the Purple Boys, just warps a card on entry. Run 3 of the Revived Ravager, warps a card out of the drop area, and then warps a card out of the hand. Pretty solid against stuff like Cell Surge, where they have cards that they want to advantage off in the drop area. I played at Gotenks today. Being able to warp off the Gotenks pieces, then follow up with a Dark Broly to warp the Gotenks itself, so they don't get the pieces back, is really strong. These cards have been errated. The Activate main does cost 1 black energy now, but that really doesn't hurt the deck, to be completely honest with you. And remember, the Activate main is 6 black battle cards, not 6 black 30K battle cards. I lost a game because of that. This would be a first place deck profile, if so. And then 3 of the Ultimate Pack Broly's. Really, the only reason you run this one, you're never really paying 2 for it. It's just because it's a 30K body that has, combo power, which these do not. And plus it's deflect, so if you really need a card to come in, you can play this Broly and he'll be fine. There's another card that plays off of it, but it rarely comes up. And then the last Broly we run is this guy. I've always really liked this card. When you swing, you can pay 1 and you can put 6 30Ks back into the drop area, which is what you're always doing. You're not really worrying about any of the other effects. But it does also play off our secret rare because we do run Rebelu, so this is a target for it. And it's just also the art is dope as fuck. Moving on here, Bancroft is struggling right now.
My hand slipped.
Mekis, if you know your matchup, this card can single-handedly win you games in certain situations. And also, you can activate main to search out a ball. Not much else to say about it. It's 15K body, and it has deflect. Again, if you really need a card to come out, this is your guy.
It's always good to maximize the card to its fullest as well.
Exactly. And then we run 1 Toa. So I believe in TCG Discussions profile, he said that he did not really like Toa. I still really like Toa in this list because there are some situations where you just mill through your balls way faster than you should. And get them in their drop area. And being able to activate main for 1 black energy to pick 1 up is sometimes invaluable. And I like her also as another 30K target off the top of the deck, where I would see a lot of these, and I was whiffing way too much, so I threw this in just to have a target for the leader effect if I'm not trying to play it. Demigra. So this is huge in this list. So gives Wormhole. Burst 1 when you activate Overrealm, you gain Wormhole. The +1, you put 2 back into your drop area. And then the -3, you add 2 Overrealms from your Warp to your hand that are energy cost 7 or less, which a majority of the cards in this list are 7 or less, so you don't ever have to worry about it. But having the Wormhole and being able to burst 1 and then +1 to put 2 back, most of your cards being Overrealm 6, alongside your leader, you basically just reset your drop area for your Wormhole play. So he is huge in this list. Going into Overrealms, we run a 1 of SS4 Vegeta thwarting the Dark Empire. He's a critical body. Overrealm 6. He does cost 1, but on swing he's like a baby thwarting. You will add up to an energy cost of 4 or less and warp them. So this is really good against token spam decks, decks that like to fly low to the ground. It's not as good as thwarting, but it's a option. And then 3 Feigned Greeting. This guy's nuts. Overrealm 6 for free. Your opponent warps a card out of their hand. There's also like some gunk there. I don't know what's going on with that. But this is your main play. You want to see this guy most of the time. I was running 4 originally, but I just found that having this play off of Rebelu is sometimes really good, and also him being critical is huge in some situations. But moving on into the Goku package, we run 1 SS4 Goku thwarting the Dark Empire. He's Overrealm 6 for 1 black energy for some reason, even though this guy is 1 colorless. I don't understand that, even though they're from the same archetype. He's a blocker. When he swings, he draws 1 card, and at the end of the turn, he restands. So one of the best targets off of Rebelu, because you get a draw and you get a blocker out of it, and then you can drop him for Rebelu and negate an attack. And then, obviously, this Goku is just nuts. Overrealm 6, just pick up a 7 or less from your drop area with the Overrealm skill. Or when he's played using Overrealm, my bad, I'm sorry. These guys don't come out as much as Vegeta, because most of the time the only card you're wanting to pick up is Demigra. So most of the time you're going for this guy. This guy is just being put in the drop area to be fusion fodder for the next set of cards. Thwarting the Dark Empire. It's thwarting the Dark Empire. There's nothing else to say about it. It's still really, really good. And the fact that he puts the cards back into the drop area just to set up future Overrealms is disgusting. For Demigra, this card is just busted. There is no way around it. This card is nuts. It's got Overrealm and Dark Overrealm. They both cost 2 energy, but you get way more than 2 energy worth of effects. You get to draw a card, you get to warp a card, and you get to warp a card out of their hand, and it's a 30k. This card should not be allowed to be run in Dark Broly for how well it fits in. It's just disgusting.
30k.
At 30k.
I didn't realize like it was a 30k. Yeah.
It's like at least they had the foresight to make this a 25. Like, but they let this be a 30k. Like this card's just nuts. And also it being reprinted is huge because they're actually accessible now. 2 Brainwashed. Brainwashed is just really good for setting up your next Overrealm plays, because when you play him, you just pull 3 cards back to the drop area. So if you don't have the ability to combo cards out of your hand to set up, or you've already activated main on your leader, this is your go-to play. There is the Activate Battle, which in some situations is really strong, but 99% of the time your opponent's either going to play around that, or they're just going to put you in a position where you would kill yourself playing this anyway. So he's really just here to be another 30k and set up for future Overrealms. Run 3 Prostate of the People.
Continue.
Shut up, Bancroft. Card's just really good. In certain matchups, it just walls out your opponent. If your opponent's like into swing of a lot of little weenies, it's really good against stuff like SS4 Toa, SS4 Bardock to an extent. Really good against like AOD. It's really the best black floodgate outside of Oceanus, but I don't really want to be spending 2 energy, so I decided to leave Oceanus out of this particular list. But for just 1 energy and pitching a card out of your hand, which most of the time you want to pitch a 30k to be able to, overrealm later on, he's your best option. Another defensive card. This card has overperformed all night in almost every single matchup. So Kai, if you have 3 cards in your warp, or your opponent has 3 cards in your warp, she costs 1, negates the attack, and then warps a battle card until the end of the turn, and then plays it with skills negated. This card is just in every single matchup that I played tonight. This card has overperformed, and I wish I just had 4 of these, and not even run Protector of the People, because I've been playing against boss monster decks all night. But this card's huge. Made Fluff Scoop. Shout out Fluff.
Yeah, there's a video of that happening, apparently. Self-explanatory.
Let's say
Also, you only have 1 type of super combo there.
Hold on. Hold on. Cut the video. I gotta keep my integrity. Heartfelt, you do run a red Broly. Pretty good. Never comes up. Never played it.
Never comes up. It's just your secret rare.
And then Rebelu. This card is just insane. But in every matchup it just gets removed immediately, but I absolutely love it when it goes off. The matchups where this card sticks is just disgusting. So it's a 40k double striker. It plays out 2 cards with the Overrealm skill. It's also a Dark Overrealm, so it does stick around. But then you can choose 1 card with the Overrealm skill in your battle area, place it in the drop area, and negate an attack, which is fantastic against stuff like blue, because this is not a counter, so they can't ape in response. As long as they don't wipe your field, like remove your Overrealms or remove her, you're basically unkillable for a turn in most situations. So probably the best possible setup you could have is set up with a Goku or like a Vegeta here. You swing with the Vegeta for the critical whatever, drop that, block here, then hit it for the negate, and then you probably already have a thwarting setup, which this card also has Overrealm for some reason, so you can just pitch this as well. So already for 2 energy you have pretty much 3 negates set up. Just insane value off of this card, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite secret rare out of that particular set. If anybody wants to sell me one, hit me up, because I'm borrowing Bancross and Fluffs because I cannot bring myself to pay TCG player for it.
It happens. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed today's deck profile. Yeah, it's pretty good. Didn't get a chance to play against it, but hey.
You would have lost.
You don't know that. That being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you click buttons. Hope there's stuff on the screen. Read your cards, know your plays, and like always, fluff out. Something about mistakes, right?